If you want to learn how to code in 2022, then this is the right video for you. Also guys, this is my first video on this channel, so if you guys happen to enjoy this video, then please make sure to sub. Anyways, let's get right into it. So to get started, you're going to have to install a program called IntelliJ IDEA. If you want to start coding, you're going to need a software that you can write code in. Well, of course you could do this without the actual software, but having software like this will make it way easier to code. We're going to be coding in the Java language, so you can just look at the community version and download for Windows. If you guys aren't using Windows, you can just go to the Mac OS or Linux and you can still use it. After you guys install IntelliJ IDEA, you should open the program and it should look like this. You won't have anything here because you just installed the program, but we're just going to press New Project up here. Click New Project and click on Java. We're going to use the latest version of Java and we can just press Next. Click this button to create a project from a template and give it a title. We're going to call it Hello World. Once your software loads, it should look like this. First of all, let's open the folder on the side. You're only going to need your src file because this is where your code is. This main file right here is what you're going to be coding in. As you can see, it says write your code here. And don't worry guys, I'm going to try to explain all of this to you as best as possible, and if I don't, I'll try to make it in a future video if I do that. So the first line here says package com.smallplace. It says com.smallplace right here, and that's the folder that your package is in. You can pretty much ignore this, and you can pretty much ignore all of this for now because you don't know how to code yet. If you haven't noticed yet, this main class is the same name as the file, and it's supposed to be like that. So if I had a wrong name here, it would see that as an error and it would tell me to fix that by renaming the file. This right here is called your main method. Methods are basically functions. If you don't understand that, it's okay. I'll explain it later. If I can't explain it later, I'll just do it in another video for you guys. Basically what this is that all of your code for now should stay in here. When you run your program with the button up here called run main, everything inside of this line will run. So I want you guys to just copy with me since you don't know how to program yet. The first thing that any programmer should learn how to do in any language is learn how to print hello world. That's just the standard around here. So in this language called Java, you're gonna have to write system.out.println. Actually, you can just write print parentheses, double quotations in there, and write hello world inside of them. Then at the end of your line, put a semicolon. Think of this as like a command to your computer to print hello world in your output, and you'll see what that is later. Now if I press run up here, we shouldn't get any errors and it should just run. It says hello world in the output, and that means it worked. If you guys have any errors, you should probably just comment them down below and I'll try to help you out. We're going to copy this whole line, enter, and paste it down here. And then we're going to say midnight. I don't even know how to say that yet, really. I just made this channel. Run. We get this. What's wrong here is that we need a space here. There's no errors, but if we put a space right here and rerun it, it's on a different line here in the code. They're on one line here in the output. And that's because we have print. Problem with that is that after the print, you stay on the same line. So if we delete the space here and on the top line, we just do a print ln and press run. Now they're on two separate lines. You can add two text on one print ln. So you can just do a plus and then put whatever you wanted to put and press run. And you'll see here, we have the same issue as before. We don't have a space. Put a space there and it'll work. Hello world, min type. Now you guys can pause the video if you want here and just try to play around with it, put in your own name here or whatever you want. You can also put a number here if you wanted to, like 3 for example, or you can just remove these and put a 3. The reason why you can put a 3 here outside of these double quotations is because the 3 right here now is, before it was considered in this text, it's considered a string. Anything inside of these quotation marks are strings. Anything between these single quotations are called chars, and in chars are just like one letter of the alphabet. This number right here is no longer considered as a string as this is because it's in quotation marks. This is now considered an integer. If we put a 0.0, it'll still work, but since we have a 0.0 here now, this is no longer considered an integer, and now it's considered a double. Now you may be asking, what's an integer, what's a double, what's a char, and what's a string? You can just put 2 slashes and write a comment. This is a comment, and that comment will not be affected by your code. When the computer runs your code, it'll just skip over your comment. If you want to comment out many lines, you can just put an asterisk like that and put another one like this, and everything inside of here is now a comment. So what I said earlier, we have strings, chars, ints I guess, and doubles. apples. We also have, basically in programming, there's something called a variable. A variable is like, imagine a box, and this box, you can put information in it. For example, you could, let's name, what if we gave the name for this box apples, and inside let's put 3 apples. So if we wanted to put this in our code, we would use integer, because integers basically are numbers without your 0.0 at the end. We would write int apples equals 5. So this is how you declare a variable. We have the variable type, which is int, then the name of the variable, what it equals to, and the value of the variable. Now this println down here, you could edit this to be saying you have, and then put a plus sign, and then you write apples plus apples. Now if we ran this, guys, you're gonna see down here it says you have 5 apples. Quotations like this, it won't work because this variable is an integer. Integers only hold numbers. But let's say you wanted to put like a variable for a name. Well, we would use string name equals, and then you can put your name, and you can put like any name really. So we're gonna use Bob. Let's make a new line after this println and write system.out.println your name is plus name, and put a semicolon. Also, guys, if you have any errors in your code, check your capitalization of words and your semicolons, because those are like 2 of the biggest issues I've seen people have. And as you can see, it says your name is Bob. I think, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. So if you guys enjoyed, subscribe. I don't know. Bye.